I think David has set the stage really well while mentioning some of the international human rights framework like UN guiding principles on business and human rights. But I would a little bit disagree with David in terms of, we don't have any good model around self-regulation. Because what I see is being part of Meta's independent oversight board for the last 2.5 years, the kind of precedents and the cases we have decided, I think, has set a very good stage and an example for the other social media platforms that if they want to self-regulate, how they can self-regulate. And I think now they have to do that under Digital Services Act of EU that David has already mentioned. And why I'm saying this, because Oversight Board is actually following the international human rights framework on freedom of expression. And also, like, we get a lot of inspiration from UN mechanisms like UNSR's reports, like even David's reports, and UN guiding principles on human rights. So I think there is, with all its flaws, there are models out there that if companies have will to follow, they can actually follow and self-regulate themselves. But at the same time, I think we also be very, very cautious when we say what EU is doing. DSA is also not really a law that is not doesn't lack, like a human rights principles. Of course, they are regulating social media platforms in a good way, but I think we also need to be very cautious when countries copy-paste those laws and try to bring into a jurisdiction where we don't have proper rule of law. That's where the problem is, and I think that's what we see in Pakistan as well, with Prevention of Electronic Crimes Act, with social media regulation, which I'm sure that Iman will talk more about, with different attempts of regulating internet, in the name of regulating social media companies. So, sabse bada, and I'll move into Urdu. I'm sure that Masa and David will understand. But ये जो पाकिस्तान में रेगुलेशंस अब तक पिछले सालों में आई हैं, PMLN की गवर्नमेंट से लेके PTI की गवर्नमेंट और अब दोबारा से, उनमें फ्लॉज यही हैं कि आप देखते ही नहीं है कि इंटरनेशनल ह्यूमन राइट्स फ्रेमवर्क क्या है. आपने ICCPR को साइन और रेटिफाई किया है कि आपको पता है कि वो उसमें आपने क्या कमिटमेंट्स की हैं. आप किस तरीके से आइसोलेशन में ऐसे लॉज लेकर आ रहे हैं जिनको जब इंटरप्रेट करते हैं और आप आर्बिट्रेरी पावर्स देते हैं FIA जैसे इदारों को या मुख्तलिफ इदारों को, तो वो इन लॉज को उन्हीं लोगों के खिलाफ इस्तेमाल करते हैं जिनके राइट्स आपने प्रोटेक्ट करने की कोशिश की है. विल थी या नहीं थी हमें नहीं पता. तो आपकी इंटेंशन वहाँ से शो हो जाती है कि जब आप इस तरह के लॉज लाते हैं इन द नेम ऑफ प्रोटेक्टिंग इंटरनेट यूजर्स, इन द नेम ऑफ प्रोटेक्टिंग यंग वुमेन एंड गर्ल्स, इन द नेम ऑफ प्रोटेक्टिंग चिल्ड्रन, what exactly you are doing with that. That's what we have seen, what happened with Mati and all the journalist fellows that we have seen, what happened with lots of political descendants in the last few years. So I think what we really need to see is कि आप अगर law लेकर आ रहे हैं तो आपकी intention क्या है. आपकी इंटेंशन अगर मिलीशियस है तो उसका कोई भी अच्छा लॉ होगा, आप उसको गलत तरीके से इंटरप्रेट करके आप बॉडीज़ को ऐसी पावर्स दे देंगे. आप PTA को, FIA को, जब तक आप ओवरसाइट नहीं करेंगे प्रॉपरली कि ये इदारे कर क्या रहे हैं, आप जितना अच्छा कानून लेकर आ जाएं वो कानून हमेशा वेपनाइज ही होगा. सो आई विल एंड हियर.